a championship team does three things. They only don't do three things only. They do a lot of things, but mostly what they do is they manage the backside and enhance their upside. Mano y mano defense, cover their defense and be the best at defense, and then everything else offense. Golden State Warriors, great defense, high efficiency offense. That is a championship dynasty team. If you want to be a champion, you want to be a dynasty, cover your backside while spear fronting your front side. The whole point is business. What's going to be your downside? Taxes, bad loans. I mean, it's the wealth factory stuff. Managing your downside with taxes and not paying too much people too much things. Managing your margin. That's really it. Is the cost too high for the price? And covering that side, being efficiency in that process, and then also maximizing your profits, not being like solely focused on that, but in your means. And so how can you do that? By knowing what's going to stop you and preparing a plan to already skip that hurdle. How you know that is looking at different fields, but also looking at your field and saying like, oh look, because I mean, like, woohoo. Basically, government, the rules. So here's really what it is. The government, whatever government you're in, government's gonna stop you, because through a progression of time, they've had things go awry and they want to have rules. And so we are playing a game, and we were given this game with life and the birth of life, right? And so the funny thing is there's games inside of games, just like there's games inside of games inside of games. And so the game theory continues. I don't know fully what that is, but I said it because it's something. And so how you truly win is you make up your own game within these games, following the rules of the games, right? And so, I mean, you define your own win, right? And you know your rules, you stick to them. And so, for instance, like, what is going to absolutely collapse your game? What's going to absolutely collapse your mission and your mode of championship, if it's playing or if it's not playing, like if it's a business, you got to define. You can't live in this hierarchy. Sometimes you got to dive in and give them some details in this low, like not the lower, symbolical thing, like the abstraction, the lowest abstraction, the lowest detail. You can't live up in high heavens because you won't make sense to people. So, as I'm not making sense to many, the whole point is find the details, challenge those rules in a way that the game, because we're not perfect and the game is always evolving, so it's always changing and it's adapting, which makes it fun, which makes it awesome. But you also have to know what is something that's going to prevent you. Is it rules and regulations? Is it mindset and adaptability? Is it inefficiencies? Is it something that is it just lack thereof, material or energy? Or is it timing? Like, is there going to be an over the top decimation, like the earth? So man, it's just it comes down to elementary, my dear Watson, elementary. And that is man versus man, man versus himself, man versus world, and then man versus the unknown. You got to throw in an extra one because you're trying to be creative or whatever. Break the rules, bend the rules, but there's always an extra thing. So it's always another category because we don't know everything, right? You could even add, man versus God. Doesn't work out for man. it might appear that it works out, but it never does. You know, long run, God's got it 10 times out of 10. But also man versus other, like the unknown, and the fact that you don't know what you don't know about is the most in the category is crazy. But that's the whole role. And if we collaborate and intelligate, that will be fine. That's the game inside the game mantra. That's the world. I'm just trying to cover my world where I'm not just a one-trick pony, where I only have one speech, but you cover most of it. And how you cover most of it is you understand most of it, and you find your formula, and you can use and see the formula throughout the way. And so that was what I was going to talk about. Yeah. What did I start talking about? Defense, offense, productive offense. Efficiencies and all these things. Just always adapting your process, your people, and your product. That's business. That's from Marcus Lemonis. That's a cool name. Anyways, process, people, product, lean manufacturing, lean. Do the what's the product? The product. I guess the product is performance as well, and that's really on the people aspect, and that's just a whole 9 yards, and you got to be in the right mindset to do this thing. So yeah, so that's just the fun. Cover your backside, know the rules, and challenge the rules, because it's not like stay within the rules, but also challenge rules so you can adapt and be ability, and go. It's not like anything is ever going to take you down other than death. Like that's just the stop, right? But it's not the stop. Tricky. The whole point is it never stops you, right? So like it may appear to be the stop of you, but I'll tell you, like I said, man versus God. Be on God's side, it never stops. So the beginning. This dog, she's just a hard-working dog, bringing the lumberjack. Oh, is that the Nelly girl? Anyways, I didn't speak to it. Yeah, pride, ego, man. Didn't speak to a dog like that. So, closing time. Watch this video if you want to see anything more about funniness, or enlightenment. Because enlightenment is just opening your eyes and shining a light. He is the light. Watch this video.